you too. What's going on with this preacher? So y'all remember the video where I got my airbags, right? I had got my airbags done, and that was at one of those pilot truck kits, right? So then he had all his tools and stuff sitting up here, right? And so now on that airbag, on that side, one of the fittings and hoses he put on is a leak. So that's why if you look at that one, let's see. You see how over there, you can see how it's still flat a little bit. It's not getting aired up all the way because it has a leak in it. Then the tools that he had right here, he scratched up my hose. Now these lines are new lines. The stuff that he had right here, I got Gorilla Tape on it now. It scratched up my line, and now I got a fuel leak right there where you see that tape over it. Right? So for the since that happened, right, I was like, wow, my engine would start spinning. And I thought because of the engine harness that I need, that connects to my cam position sensor. So it's one of the harnesses that I need, and it was on back order. It came in, my mechanic let me know that it came in and he got it. So I thought maybe it kept spinning over because my position sensor and stuff wasn't reading correctly, right? So it takes a little bit more to fuel up. Then I start smelling fuel, right? And then that exhaust burning stuff. So then I go back and I look at my exhaust, and I got a hole here in my exhaust. Then I see the little black smoke here, so I'm like, okay, yeah, I got a hole right there too. So I'm like, man. And then inside this pipe, where you see all that black and stuff is, I got a hole there too. So it's causing the blackness right there, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So I went and I got, you also see the black there too, right? So I got another pipe, and I got another muffler and another exhaust I went and got. So I got to get that put on. It's already at my mechanic place. We just got to put that on along with my engine, one of my harnesses for my engine harness, right? So then that happened, and I start leaking fuel. I come back and I'm like, why is this whole thing, the whole assembly there was wet? You know where I'm pointing at? That was wet. And I'm like, I'm just smelling. I thought it was the exhaust reason why I kept smelling this and stuff, right? Like fuel and stuff. So then I'm here at my place, and I'm looking, and I'm like, wow, this is really wet, right? So I had to put something on my pedal to raise up my engine, and I looked back and I saw fuel coming out of there, right? It was just start coming all down. So you put the brake cleaner on it to clean the holes and, you know, the grease and everything around. And I look and I see little scratches in the hose right there. So now I'm just like, what? I got these little scratches and stuff, right? So I'm like, man. So I got fuel and everything coming out the hose. And the problem is because those hoses is the clamps and everything is machine fitted and pressure and stuff. You know, I just can't cut the hose and put a new fitting on. I got to buy a whole new hose. Now that hose is what? 6 months old on that hose. And I'm like, well, all his tool bag and everything that he had on there. And, you know, you're just looking at it, like, well, okay, he's trying to keep his tools close to him. You know, no problem. But whatever tools and stuff he had, then put the little slits in the hose. So now my hose is leaking fuel. So I'm like, man. And, you know, for that hose, it's going to be like $200 to get the a whole new line. And I got to rock that line from there all the way back up in my engine to my fuel. I'm just like, man, look at him. Whew. It's like it gets you frustrated sometimes what they do, because it's like you pay your money, you take it to the shop, and you know you got Pilot go like no third party repairs. But when my other my other cab airbag is just shooting out air like crazy and I'm losing air, you know I got to get it fixed where you got to get it fixed at. It's just one of those type of things, you know, you got to get it fixed. It's like, well, all right, you down and out, because without the air, you're not going to be able to move. You know, your brake's going to lock up. So I had to get it fixed there, but fixing one problem and that they have fixed caused another problem on my fuel line. Because then I'm looking at my fuel, and my fuel is going down. I'm like, man, I cannot be getting like 3 miles to a gallon, 4 miles to a gallon. Why is my fuel going down? Then I look back there, and when it's just idling, you really can't tell, especially with the rain, because I've been driving through rain, so everything is wet back there, so you really can't tell. Okay, but when I put my foot on the pedal, and now you see the fuel coming out, now you could tell because you see the fuel coming out. So now I'm like, okay, I'm losing all types of fuel in the back. Plus my exhaust leak is hot back there. You know, I don't want to catch fire. So now, you know, you got to get that fixed. Now, luckily, today is Friday, right? I already did my 4 loads. This is my 5th load. I'm doing my little water load, right? You know, it's like 120 miles for $700. So, you know, it puts me up to $7,000 for the week. You know, and that's just what I do. So I hit this and load, and now I got to put my truck in the shop Saturday, you know, so my mechanic can put the fuel line. And he just had a baby and everything. So I'm like, you know what, don't worry about the muffler and, you know, the engine harness right now. If you just could do the fuel line for me, I appreciate it, just to keep me moving, you know, and that's the main thing. I'm just trying to keep moving, you know. And then next week, I'm going to be off for a while. I'm taking, after I deliver that load on Friday, you know, I'm not going to do another load. So I just stay at 6,300 for the week. And I'm going to put my truck in the shop then. I got to get this procedure done. So I'll be out until, let's see, Monday, Tuesday, until Wednesday. I'll be going back out on Wednesday. I get the procedure done on Monday. I got to be off for basically a full day after that. So I won't come back out until Wednesday of next week. But I'm just like, you know, one shop causing another problem. And now I got to get that air leak fixed. The bag is good, but the fitting that he used is leaking from that fitting. So I don't know if the fitting just went bad, because it wasn't leaking before. When they did it, it was not leaking. The bag just started leaking 2 days ago when I noticed the leak. You know, and like now, see my see what I'm saying? So I'm down to like 90 pounds of pressure. And I've been sitting here for like 30 minutes. I've been sitting here, you know. So with me sitting here for like 30 minutes, it already went down from 120 to 90 because of that air leak. So here, this truck out here, you know, they started that thing and stuff. I'm trying to look. Yeah, so that's what's going on. So I got that going on and stuff, man. So
You hold the key?
huh?
Can you hold the key?
Yeah.
When I'm there, I'm gonna call you.
Okay. So, you know, it's just it's like another issue, man. Just another issue, man. Just another issue. Look at it. You know, because of that air leak on that bag and stuff. It's like you out here and you paying good money for services. And it's a simple service. You know, I'm like, okay, just replace the airbag. Replace the airbag, replace the fitting too. So they replace the line and replace the fitting, but it's leaking from that line and fitting. So, am I going to take it back? Yes, I'm going to take it back. I go by there, 4 times a week, 2 times in the morning time. So I'll take it back and have them do it and stuff. Plus, that same facility, they owe me a PM. I don't even want to get into why they owe me a full PM, but they owe me a full PM. But I wasn't finna sit here and have them redo stuff all over again. You know, I got to go. So what the owner did was he gave me a free PM. So next month, because I get my truck done every month, you know, that basically I keep it between 12 to 14,000 miles when I do a PM, oil change and stuff, filter changes and stuff. I got this N14 red top. So, you know, you always want to change the oil about every 12,000 miles, but I only do about 26 to 2,800 miles a week. So basically every month, the beginning of every month, that's when I get a PM done. So they're going to give me a free PM because of what they did. So I'm like, well, okay, basically they filled my truck with the wrong oil. That's what they did. So they put the little cheap oil that they trying to do instead of the oil that I wanted and stuff. I don't want to, you know, give them a shout out or anything like that. You know, I ain't getting paid for stuff. So basically that's what happened. You know, they gave me the wrong oil, and I'm like, well, you didn't put it up in there. Then they trying to keep me. Well, I give you a discount. I said, no, I don't want a discount. You know, I want you to take that oil out and put in new oil. Well, then so what we did was we settled on a new PM because I didn't even want the oil filter that they had put on there with the wrong oil in. I said, no, you're gonna have to change out the oil filter too. You know, so he said, well, how about I just give you a full PM free? I was like, well, okay, cool. You know, I take it. I take a full PM free because that's a whole nother, you know, oil change, lube change, fuel filter, oil filter, and stuff like that. So I take another PM. So next month it's gonna save myself $335. You know, so that is a savings. But I am gonna take it back to have them fix it. You know, fix that airbag that's leaking. That's leaking air. I'm gonna do that on Monday. You know, but I gotta put my truck in the shop tomorrow. And my mechanic, he does not work on the weekends. He don't work on the weekend. But he's like, you know what? You know, that's one good thing about having you and mechanic. Because in an emergency like this, and he know he put that line on and things like that. So he was like, oh, okay, you know, he'll go ahead and get it done. So he's gonna get it done for me on Saturday. You know, so that way I can have my truck back on Saturday. And then Sunday, I have to wash it. I have to wash my truck a lot because y'all see that exhaust and stuff until he's able to put on the new exhaust and stuff that I have. But yeah, man, that's the kind of stuff you got to deal with, man. These shops. I ain't trying to say that they're crooked. I'm not trying to say nothing like that. But what I will say, the workers that they have, you know, you got to watch the workers that they have. Now, the managers, they may know what they're talking about, but the workers that they have, and then are they checking the workers' work, make sure that they're doing everything right? You know, so I try to stay out of them doing anything like very important. You know, but I'm figuring out an airbag change. You're just talking about unhooking some screws, some fittings, and some hoses, and screwing them back in. It shouldn't be that hard. You know, just like my governor, my air governor. just 4 screws. And you take off the lines with the fittings and you put it right back for, little simple things like that. You would think that somebody should be able to do that with no problem, but obviously not. All right, man. Sorry, y'all, just looking at that. Ain't nothing to see out here, It's just where I go get the water from. That's all. All right, I'll talk to y'all later.